It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Sports Podcast.
What a fucking idiot, Floyd Mayweather, to me.
Why?
You know what I mean? Because I don't. Why is he fighting Logan Paul?
How
He
big
wants
is
the
Logan
money.
Paul?
Get the bread. Get the bread, yo.
How big is
Collect
he?
the
How big
check.
is Logan?
Everybody's ready to go out now.
no.
Like everybody's ready to open her up. Everybody's ready to go out there into the world.
Open her up.
Open her up.
Hey,
Son, we
Schultz,
need you on the
how big
remix,
is he?
Charla. Say
Schultz,
what?
How big is Logan Paul? How big is he?
He's maybe 6'2", 6'3".
How much he weigh?
He's very stacked though. He's 30. He's and he's athletic.
His weight.
But the thing about fighting Floyd Mayweather, and I told him this, is like the guy is the best defensive boxer in history. You're not gonna hit him when all these other people couldn't hit him.
He's
Like-
gonna make him look stupid.
Exactly.
Unless Floyd has lost like a severe. I mean, he have to have lost several steps.
Yeah.
Several.
He
It ain't
has
about the steps.
all the
It's about
steps.
getting hit. It's about
Oh
getting hit.
God! By the way, let's keep it on. Let's never forget. Wax said Logan Paul is going to beat Floyd Mayweather. He said that on this podcast.
I said that. I said I want to see how his weight is. Where his weight is. Where
190. Floyd can
190.
come in up to 160,
199.
and Logan can come in up to 190.
And then Floyd's going to embarrass Logan Paul.
Yeah, I mean, it will go a few rounds, and I think that he knocks him. I think he knocks him down with body shots.
That
I don't
30
even think he
pounds
does
is
head
something.
shots. I think it's just body shot, body shot, body shot.
All right. I
He's
would love
gonna
to see
tire
it.
him out.
I don't think Wax understands how good of a defensive fighter Floyd
I ain't saying
Mayweather
that
is.
I'm not taking nothing away from Floyd, but I understand what weight does. In
Logan
fighting.
won't touch him.
So wait, you think
What if he do
Logan
touch him?
He's not.
just how Jake's gonna touch you?
That's right. Ooh.
I can say that. Listen.
Young Liberty shooting from the hip.
All they gotta do is make it happen. It's light for me. I ain't even worrying about it. What I'm trying to tell him is 30 pounds is really something.
He's not going to touch.
That's cool.
Floyd Mayweather.
If he don't, Floyd wins. If he do touch Floyd, I don't think Floyd can handle that.
He's not touching Floyd.
Because guess what? Floyd is not used to being hit, right? So when he do get hit, he don't know how to handle that.
Nah,
I
he can
talked
take a punch.
to Jake, by the way, about you fighting him, and he said that he didn't want to do it because he would feel bad potentially taking a father away from his children.
Well, tell him I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Because my kids definitely need me. I appreciate that.
Wow.
That's a good way of thinking.
Big Jake Paul.
I take that. Thank you.
Wow. I love Jake having that attitude. That's
He's
a great
looking out
attitude.
for you, you know? He's looking out for
Word
you.
up. Word up. I like that attitude.
Because though, for real, like
I
not that he killed me.
I wish cops felt like that when they saw big black men. shout out to Jake Paul.
They need to adopt that.
I like Jake.
Yes, but I ain't worrying about that. That's something I ain't worrying about. Just y'all think about 30 pounds. You know what I'm saying? And somebody who's not used to getting hit,
Yeah.
when you get hit, you ain't gonna know how to react.
I agree,
We
but
say
he's
that
not
all the time, though.
He's not touching Floyd though.
Here's the thing, though. You're assuming that Logan hits like a 190-pound boxer does. Logan is a really good athlete, like much better than normal athlete. So let me not
Hand-eye
consider him a
coordination
regular
makes
person.
sense. Hand-eye coordination
Yes.
makes a lot of sense.
No question, his cardio will be on point, etc. But there's a difference between someone who's been boxing since they're like 8 years old and the balance that they have and their ability to generate power
Skill.
behind a punch. Like if he just winds up with some big looping punch, I'm sure Logan can really hurt Floyd. But Floyd's going to be giving him angles. Floyd's going to be doing, he's not going to be able to just load up. And I don't know if he's been boxing for 3 years, if he can generate that type of concussive power in an instant. I just, it is something
just
that
don't
takes
see it.
forever, man. It's like, if you even look at,
that's why you're supposed to bait him in and put him in a place to where now you're supposed to load up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm just saying,
Wax,
if
it's
he's
Floyd Mayweather.
I hear you, but
Jr.
athlete is an athlete, hand-eye coordination. I've seen it a lot.
Who has it better than Floyd Mayweather Jr.
yeah,
in the
you're
boxing
acting like
ring?
him.
Floyd isn't an athlete. Floyd is
Exactly.
the greatest
I'm
athlete
not
of all
taking
time.
away from Floyd. I'm just looking at 30 pounds. If this guy was weighing the same thing as Floyd, I believe would destroy him. Pick him up, do all that type of stuff. Floyd would definitely be in shape over the guy and everything, but I just know at 30 pounds, dude.
There is
I watched
nothing.
this.
There's nothing Logan Paul could do in the ring that Floyd couldn't read.
Yo, listen, I seen
Nothing.
this. Listen,
Nothing.
even in football, it got a running back. He's so shifty, so dope. If a linebacker 30 pounds more rock his ass, he gonna slow the fuck down.
Wax, there's nothing Logan Paul could bring in that ring that Floyd has not seen in his
You saying Floyd
30,
don't get hit,
25 plus year career of boxing.
You're
Floyd get
talking
hit?
about a
Yes.
high school linebacker going up against Barry Sanders.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand what you don't get about this. It doesn't matter how good the high school linebacker is. He's going up against Barry fucking
That's right.
Sanders.
That's
I
right.
understand
That's
that.
right.
And I ain't taking nothing away from him. Just watch the fight. When is this fight?
June 5th or 6th?
Yeah.
I think it's like June 6th in Miami, baby. The world's coming through Miami,
coming.
baby.
I'll be in Miami next week.
Do you remember how bad Floyd embarrassed Canelo Alvarez?
Son,
Canelo Alvarez was undefeated. By the way, Canelo's probably pound for pound the best boxer in boxing right now. He was undefeated when he fought Floyd. His only loss is to Floyd. He was young. Floyd made him look like an amateur. He couldn't touch Floyd.
What was the weights?
Like what? They said Canelo actually came in at like 180.
Yeah, that Canelo came in super fucking heavy for the fight. I was there at that fight live. And dude,
Really?
the crowd was like 70% Mexican and they were quiet like fucking immigration was inside the arena, dude. Not a single peek out of them as Floyd was dodging every single punch. It was unbelievable, dude. It was unbelievable.
I seen the best of them. I seen the best of them happen.
I watched that fight. Actually, I remember that fight so vividly because I watched it at Irv Gotti's house in Saddle River, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I remember Debbie Brown texting me saying, "You was with me?" What? Yeah, Debbie Brown texted me saying, "I think Floyd's gonna lose tonight." And I was like, "No."
Come on.
I was like, "Nah,
Come on.
no, he's not." And he embarrassed Canelo. But the reason I put it in the what a effing idiot category, and I mean, of course, Floyd Mayweather's not an idiot. We know this guy knows how to make money. Nobody's made more money in boxing than him. But I'm still a stern believer in legacy. Does everything got to be about money, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does when you get to a certain point. I do. Like, I think you got to get to a certain point and then it's like, oh, wow, I could make 20 million. I could make 30 million. Like, I can make this much money.
I would rather.
But what if he get hit knocked out though?
He's not. I mean, stop. He's not.
Oh man, Nate Robinson did.
Are you serious right now?
Why say anything?
But Nate Robinson
How
was
you
known to be
comparing-
dunking on everybody.
What that
Now
got to
he's
do
known-
about basketball?
Exactly.
His whole legacy is done now. They don't even know.
But you know why?
basketball.
You know why his legacy is done? Because as Snoop Dogg says, you can't play boxing. So he went in that ring with no boxing experience, playing around with somebody who got boxing experience, and he got laid out. Same thing gonna happen to Logan Paul. I don't know if Logan gets knocked out, but I know he gets embarrassed. I know Floyd gonna be unless Floyd has lost. When I say several, I'm talking about several steps. Logan Paul doesn't stand a chance. We all know this.
I've seen some amazing running backs who get hit by a linebacker, and he's not that fast no more.
You sound like all the ones that want to see Floyd like.
I don't want to see nobody lose. I'm telling y'all facts.
You know what you sound like?
Ran a 4.4.
This
he
is
ran a 4.4, got hit, and now he run a 4.6. He gonna slow down. He ain't used to getting hit.
Yeah. You know what you sound like? This is what you sound like. You sound like the white guys when sports were just getting integrated. You know, and they're like trying to convince their friends. They're like, yeah, and there's no way those black guys are going to be able to do it. Come on. That's what you sound like right now. Like
That's
what
not
you're
true.
saying is just so absurd. It's just so absurd. It doesn't matter.
It is absurd. It's absurd. It is absurd. It's very absurd. He's Floyd money man. Floyd is literally the greatest defensive fighter of all time. Muscle memory Floyd could go in that fight off muscle memory and win, bro.
I hear it.
Like there's literally nothing. There's no combinations.
I would love to see Floyd
nothing
win.
Logan can throw that
I would love to
Floyd
see him
hasn't
win. I
seen.
promise I'd love to see him win. But 30 pounds.
No, man. I just love legacy, bro. Like here's the thing. Nobody Schulz, you don't do nothing for no reason. You don't do things for money. You're meticulous about the things that you do. Now, if Floyd needs the money, sure. If he's just that type of guy who money motivates him and it's an extra $50 million to grab on the table, hey, go do your thing. You've earned the right to do that. But my point is, what has Logan Paul done to be in the ring with Floyd Mayweather? I'd rather see Floyd do an exhibition fight against Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya wants to come back. He wants some action.
Yeah,
y'all
but
go do that.
I think right now we just want the carnival. You know, like I think you just like what Logan has is people care about him. They care about his journey. They care about who he is. They listen to his podcast. They watch his videos. Like they're deeply invested in who he is and a human being. And it's fun to watch somebody that you're invested in fight. And that's why they made the 24/7 series that we all loved. Remember those 24/7 documentaries before the fight came out? You didn't even know who these people were. And then you watch the 24/7 series and you're like, oh shit, I really like this guy. He trains really hard. He drinks his own piss. He came from humble beginnings. Like, this is awesome. Let's watch it.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
So I think if you're designing boxing events, I'm going to design them around fans. I'm going to go, okay, the fans are obsessed with this person, so they're going to follow that person into the highest stakes activity they could possibly do, which is a human cockfight, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Like you were just fighting, not to the death, but to as close as possible, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. Like, if people didn't care about Logan, there's no way they would have this fight, but they do care about him.
So Floyd and Oscar wouldn't generate the numbers that a Logan Floyd fight.
People don't care about Oscar anymore, man. I think.
What if he wears the dress to the ring? What if he wears the fucking
dress
fishnets
to the ring,
high heels?
100%, 100%. That I would watch 1,000%. Yes.
Yeah. Damn, man. It's I don't know. I would say it sucks that it's come to this, but it's not like Floyd is on hard times. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing it because he clearly wants to do it. I just feel like, man, you're Floyd Mayweather. I just don't know if I don't know if I want to see you in the carnival. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if I want to see you in the carnival. I feel like
you don't have to play boxing.
You don't have to play boxing.
You're really a boxer, bro.
You're the man. You're the guy.
Let somebody else do that.
People earn the right to be in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. Why? Because it's a big ass payday. So if you get the chance to to stand across from Floyd Mayweather, it means that you've at least done something to where he thinks you're a formidable opponent in boxing enough to at least get you that big payday. What has Logan Paul done to deserve it? It's not like why?
Is this watering boxing down?
No,
I
don't think so.
Who's a better fighter, Jake or Logan?
Oh no, I don't think it's watering boxing down. If anything, it's creating some interest. Boxing is boring right now, dude. Like. And the reason it's boring is because boxers aren't marketing their personalities. You need us to like you. I'll be honest, that's one thing the UFC does really well is the UFC might not pay as much as boxers do, but they're taking some of the money that they're making and they invest it back into marketing those fighters. So now we know who these fighters are. They create platforms for these fighters to talk on. They're constantly interviewing. They're constantly making sure that they got personalities that are out there in the world. And then when they fight, we're like, oh, I want to see how that guy's fighting. Boxers, half these motherfuckers don't even know how to use their Instagram.
Or talk.
So it's like, bro, you got, if you want to do this for a living, you got to understand what it takes. You know? You got to understand the new game. Like, the game has changed now. The same thing with comedy. You know, it's like, the comedy, if you're a young comic growing up, you got to follow the blueprint, right? Now you got to follow the shit that we created, we put out there. You got to be able to put out your own clips. You got to be able to build your YouTube. You got to be able to do all these things because that's the new fucking game, bro. And if you don't want to do it, then you don't want it bad enough.
And there's some great fighters out there. So your point is absolutely accurate because there's some amazing fighters out there. They just don't know how to sell their fights. It's literally like back in the day with WWE. Like the Ultimate Warrior was a star, but he couldn't talk. Bill Goldberg was a star, but he couldn't talk. He didn't have no mic game. You know what I mean? Stone Cold Steve Austin had a mic game. Dwayne The Rock Johnson had a mic game. Ric Flair had a mic game. Hulk Hogan had a mic game. Macho Man Randy Savage, they had mic games. You got to know how to sell yourself. You got to know how to sell boxing, and you got to know how to sell these fights. Because sadly,
Broner did though, but he just couldn't back it up.
Broner definitely did. If
Broner was amazing.
Oh my God! If Broner could box,
backed it up.
He'd be. He's so perfect for this generation.
He really is.
He's the social media guy. He fucks around. Hip hop loves him. He's so into the culture. Like he would be so perfect. He'd be the perfect bad guy for this era.
Literally,
if he backed it up in the ring.
He really just can't. Like it's such a bummer because. What they would do with, I think, wrestlers back in the day who didn't have any mic game, they would give them like a manager who was nice with the mic. Yeah. And then they would talk all the shit. And I'm almost like, yo, Adrian Broner, like, why don't you train somebody? Even if you're not the head trainer, you'll drum up all the interest for the fight. Talk all the shit. Do everything that your boring ass fighter won't do or can't do, but at least get us all interested and invested. I think that'd be fire.
He need to get some fall fights. He needed like 5 fall fights and get him back in there, but stay on social media and still act like that. He'll get back on.
Yeah. I mean, and AB got fighters. Robert Easter is AB's fighter. AB got his own promotion company, but Robert, he's a decent fighter. You know what I mean? But he's not fantastic. But whatever. I just, God bless him. Y'all tell me about it. I'm not ordering it. I'll watch it on social media.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm ordering
You know what I'm
it.
saying?
I'm watching.
I'm
it.
not.
Really?